Good evening, DPS families. Welcome to Family Academy's How to Virtual Class series for tonight. My name is Greg Jones, Family Engagement Coordinator here in Durham Public Schools, and just like to welcome you all to a great class tonight. Tonight's class is Cultural Celebrations, and DPS certainly celebrates all cultures and people here in our district. Tonight during the presentation, if you have any questions, please post them in the Facebook chat. And our team for tonight, Althea Scriven, she is our Family Academy project manager. And we also have Melissa Watson, she is the director of the Office of School Relations. They will be monitoring the chat room, fielding your questions, and having our presenter address those questions for tonight. And speaking of our presenter for tonight is Melissa Perez. She is our Cultural and Linguistic Development Specialist here in Durham Public Schools. Ms. Perez, thank you for leading our class tonight, and the show is yours.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is well this evening. And I would like to thank Gregory and Melissa and Miss Althea for having me here this evening to discuss with you all cultural celebrations and DPS celebrates for this year. So this year we know is different than any other year that we have embarked upon so far with remote learning for our students. And while it has presented some challenges, for our students and our families, as well as for DPS staff, we want to, during all this, as we work through all this and as we work diligently to move the work forward, to move student learning forward, and to advance our students as they work through their learning, we don't want to lose sight of the opportunity for celebrations, because celebrations are an important part of what we do and what we believe here in Durham Public Schools. And we wanted to do something so that we can do these things in a remote way so that students and families and stakeholders have access to resources and materials to be able to join us in these celebrations, and teachers as well to use in their lessons with their students in a remote setting. So what we've decided to do is use this as an opportunity to share knowledge, empower, promote awareness through remote learning during our work on Wellness Wednesdays. As you know, Wellness Wednesdays are an opportunity for students to focus on their social emotional well-being, as well as doing some asynchronous tasks without having live classes with their teachers, and use some of this to sort of focus on some different things other than just the traditional sort of everyday lessons that we have through their classes, through our core and elective courses. So with Wellness Wednesdays and the materials that have been provided for Wellness Wednesdays, we have created a website for DPS Celebrates, and we have chosen some different designated celebrations for each month of the year. And there is always a social emotional trait, a character trait every month that will also be a focus of our DPS Celebrates. So for example, we had celebrations for the month of September, but I chose today to share, to kind of highlight the October celebrations because we're currently in October. You can see I have here the flyers that kind of gives you an overview of everything that we are looking to celebrate in October. We have LGBTQ History Month. We're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. We are talking about bullying and cyberbullying prevention, cyberbullying being particularly important nowadays. We are talking about bullying prevention. We are talking about the International Day of Nonviolence. And the character trait of the month for October is kindness. And of course, that's a trait that we want to instill in all of our students. The website that you can go to access all of the materials and resources for our monthly celebrations is celebrate.dpsnc.net. So I'm actually going to click so that you can kind of see how the website is laid out and what kind of information that you can find. So if you're interested, this is our home page. It kind of gives you an overview of what we are doing with DPS Celebrates, kind of as I explained to you here in the beginning. And we would like to encourage you, if you have social media, and you find articles and resources and things that you're doing, to put those on your social media and use the hashtag DPS Celebrates so that we can all celebrate together. So this is our home page. You can click on September and kind of see what we did for September, and I'll do that for you really quick. So for September, we have Hispanic Heritage Month started on the 15th. Our character trait of the month for September was self-discipline. And we also celebrated Constitution Week. On our website, our students are in Zoom, right, when they are in synchronous classes. And so we have some backgrounds that they can download. And for our teachers, we have some Bitmoji classrooms. We have an embedded calendar where you can see the dates and what celebrations are going on for each day. And then under each focus, with the dates as well as the resources. So you just click a highlighted resource and you will have access to those things. So that was September. We also have it in Spanish as well. So if you're a Spanish speaker, you would click on the Spanish version. I'm going to go to October. These are celebrations and cultural celebrations. There's a variety. We want to be very equitable in what we celebrate. So we're looking at different types of cultural celebrations and other important celebrations, like, for example, bullying and cyberbullying, that are particularly important and affect our students. We have a committee in Durham Public Schools that decides what is going to be celebrated. We kind of sit down with a bunch of brains at the table and pull from all different kinds of things and resources and backgrounds to decide what is going to be highlighted. And that's not to say that we don't celebrate more than what's on here. There's so many things that we could highlight and celebrate, of course, that it would be impossible to do it all. So with all of our brains at the table, I think there are probably like 8 of us total that we sit down and vet and go through and try to pick out things that we feel are most reflective and kind of affect and are most important for our student body. And on social media, you can follow any member of our team. The Twitter page that you can follow is at DPS Secondary WL, it stands for World Languages. I am the person who is in charge of that Twitter page, and I am always posting articles and reminders and our flyers as it relates to DPS Celebrate. So I would encourage you to also post and use the same hashtags, either DPS Celebrates for English or DPS Celebra for if you are posting something in Spanish. So if we take a look at October, we have here, again, Zoom video backgrounds for our students and teachers to use during their Zoom classes. Our teachers have some Bitmoji classrooms that they can use to add their Bitmoji avatar. Lots of teachers are using Bitmoji these days through their Canvas and the remote learning for students. For our calendar, it shows you the dates of all the things that we have. We have Hispanic Heritage Month continuing over from September. We have LBGQ History Month, National Bullying and Cyberbullying Prevention Month, Gandhi's birthday, International Day of Nonviolence, School Custodian Appreciation Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, Multicultural Diversity Day, National School Bus Safety Week, as well as United Nations Day. Our character trait for the month of October is kindness, and we have several resources that can be accessed by parents, students, teachers, and all stakeholders on kindness. Some of them are some video clips, and some of them are articles and activities that students can do, and parents can even join in and do with their students if they would like. We also carried over our resources for Hispanic Heritage Month. We have listed several resources for LGBTQ History Month. And you can kind of just click, you can see there's quite a plethora of resources. Some of them are K-12, so pay attention to your heading. Some of them are K-12, meaning kindergarten through 12th grade. Some of them are grade band specific. So for example, these are for elementary, and these would be 6-12, which would be for secondary. So those are differentiated there. We have our resources on national bullying and cyberbullying prevention. And then we have background and resources from the United Nations around Gandhi's birthday and International Day of Nonviolence. And then here are our academic specific celebrations around School Custodian Appreciation Day, National School Bus Safety Week, and Multicultural Diversity Day. And then some other celebrations to just be aware of: Disability Awareness, Indigenous Peoples Day, and Halloween. All cultures are celebrated here. We don't be representative of all cultures, which is why we have a lot of different people from different backgrounds at the table of the committee, the DPS Celebrates committee that decides what will be celebrated and highlighted for each particular month. If you have any questions or any comments about anything being celebrated or anything like that, or provide any kind of feedback, you can feel free to contact Ms. Melissa Watson, who is the Director of the Office of School Relations, and her number is 919-560-2505. You can also share any ideas you may have with her as well, because she is one of the wonderful brains that we do have on our DPS Celebrates committee. So she will bring that back to our committee meetings and be able to bring that to the table, and we will be able to talk and discuss that as a committee. Also, her email is listed here, melissa_watson@dpsnc.net. So again, you can let Melissa know if you want to give any kind of feedback, if you have any ideas. Note that these resources are just that. They are resources. They are there for use for teachers, students, parents. Everyone who would like to use them is free to use them. There is not a district requirement around these particular resources, although schools and teachers are required to celebrate these things. These resources are just that. They're resources out there for them to use. As a parent, you are free to access this website anytime you would like. You don't have to have permission from anyone. I am giving you permission right now by giving you the website. So you are free to access this website and use it with your child at any time that you would like. These are all district-wide celebrations. They are encouraged to be celebrated in all schools by all teachers and students district-wide. Community groups that are part of our planning process, each of us have our own community connections that are on the committee. I can speak to specifically for the month of October, we reached out to several organizations around LGBTQ history. There's a question around what community groups are part of the planning process for cultural celebrations. We reached out to Central University, we've reached out to Duke, we've reached out to UNC, we've reached out to several community partners here in Durham through our members on the committee at DPS. Those are just happens to be the ones that I personally reached out to. But like I said, we do have about 8 people on our committee, so we all have different resources. You can, the question is, can I send you something to add? Of course, you can always send something to add. Again, you can send that to Miss Melissa Watson to her email, and that is melissa_watson@dpsnc.net. And she will be happy to pass that along to the committee at our next meeting, and we can take a look at that. What are some examples of other cultures you will be celebrating? Literally any culture is game. We have Hispanic heritage. We have, for this month, this will be for each month. The question is this for the whole school year? Yes, every month will be something different for national holidays and celebrations that occur within a month. I mean, I know we have some things from like Indian culture and Arabic culture and Asian culture. We're trying to be very representative of our student body. What are some of the activities for families? In the resources, there are different articles, websites, podcasts, videos. There's even some sort of like hands-on art projects and some virtual tours. There's all kinds of different things that you can find in the resources listed on the websites. The question is, will this continue when we return to school? It is our hope that starting this year, this is becoming a new tradition, and this will continue for many more years to come, even when we return to school. The arts, we are trying our best to include the arts. The question is, are the arts included? So yes, I actually, when I pull resources, or when the team pulls resources every month, I do send out an invitation for people to contribute. So even though there are 8 people on the committee, the call for resources and for people to contribute is open to all teachers and all staff. Do you have artwork that I can share with my family? I'm not 100% sure if it's like pieces of like a particular piece of artwork, but I know there's some art type activities within the resources that are listed. What about music? Are there audio files? There is music like through YouTube. There's some songs on there. Yes, I know that there are some songs listed on there through YouTube. Do you have any suggestions on cultural places we can visit virtually? Yeah, you can use Google Earth, and you can literally travel anywhere in the world, any place in the world. Google Earth is a separate website. It's not listed on our website. Can I show you Google Earth? Sure. Give me just one moment. So if you go to your Google search and go to google.com/earth. So when you get to the website, you should launch Earth. Can my child use this site to help him with his homework? Absolutely. I know some teachers use Google Earth as a resource in their classroom, or at least some of the foreign language teachers do. I can attest to that, because we can't always take our students to the countries where the languages are spoken, so we take them there through Google Earth, and it appears to be loading. There we go. So as you see, you have Earth, Google Earth here, and you have a menu, some controls over here, and projects that you can do. You can change the map style. You can do all kinds of things. So we're going to select and enter the street view. And here we go. So you go click and it'll take you all the way down into and you select a location. And you can search places too. So Google Earth is not on the district cultural celebrations website, but this is, for example, this is in Durham. So this is like street view. So I can like come out and see the street and go down the street and visit and everything else. And if I want to search something, for example, I can say Madrid, Spain. And now all of a sudden I'm leaving Durham and I'm going across the globe to Europe, which is normally like an 18-hour flight. And now I am in Madrid, and I can just click into Madrid and go into the street view and zoom in. Here I'm going into Madrid, and you can literally see the street. So, do you have other suggestions or websites that I can use to teach my child about other cultures? I would recommend also looking at doing an internet Google search for museums. A lot of museums do virtual tours, and a lot of museums offer exhibits on all kinds of different things from other cultures. So that's also always an option as well. Google Earth is Google Earth free, or do I have to have a membership? You do not need a membership. You saw me literally search it and go to the website. It's completely free. What about history of cultures? My child loves social studies. History of cultures, that's something that would be particular to your child's history class, that they learn about those types of things. What about books that my child can read? There are some books actually as resources on the DPS Celebrates website that are linked here as a part. They're read live on YouTube, so it's like a video of the book being read. So there is some of that on the website as well. And some of the resources, if you click on them and open it up, they do have suggested titles for particular celebrations that we have listed. Is the link for also on the Wellness Wednesday website? The Wellness Wednesday website is, I'm not sure if it's honestly listed on there or not, but I know the resources have been shared with them for the Wellness Wednesday, and I know they've been shared with the counselors as well of the schools. Are there cultural clubs? Each kind of school is in charge of what clubs that they have and offer, and I think that's based on student interest. But I do know that there are some schools that do have cultural clubs. So again, does the district have cultural groups that they sponsor? Not to my knowledge, but I don't want to give you a 100% answer on a question that I'm not 100% sure about. I'm not sure if the district has cultural groups that they sponsor or not. All of our resources, are they free? Yes. All the resources on our website are free. And anyone can access our website. You don't have to be a DPS student or employee. You as parents can access it. And if you have any feedback, anything you'd like to add, any questions, please feel free to contact Melissa Watson, the Director of Office of School Relations. And her information is up here. So at this time, if that's all of the questions, I am going to turn it back over to Mr. Gregory Jones, and I will share the link for the website one more time. It is celebrate.dpsnc.net. That is where you can find all the cultural celebrations resources that we have every month. Okay, Gregory, I will turn it back over to you at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa Perez, for that great presentation. DPS celebrates. It's so wonderful that we continue to um, make all our families, make all cultures feel welcome and special here in Durham Public Schools. So we really appreciate that. I want to thank all our parents and families for tuning in with us tonight for our how-to class, cultural celebrations. I'm sure this was some new information for you all, and please take advantage. Before we sign off for tonight, I would like to remind you all that we do have a class on tomorrow night. Canvas Learning Systems, Mr. Matthew Hickson will be there leading that class. And we also have a class on Friday, helping families navigate the resources of Durham Public Schools on our website. So that'll be a very interesting class as well. So again, families, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Good night.